Well, welcome back to episode 4 of Albert Albert TV. Some may argue episode 5. I'm going to be honest, I lost a month somewhere in the thick of winter. Quite concerning. It's hard to believe people that pay you a bunch of money to do some work expect you to actually do that work. And got to be honest, I got a little bit caught up in things. So, welcome back. I can't say that we're live. This is a new bit of technology because as we speak, I should be wrapping up the Schools Out NQM ride in Gisborne, which I'm looking forward to. First time in Gizzy, so quite excited. But yeah, so we thought we'd punch this out a little bit early on, and then push this out to you all on our traditional Sunday afternoon viewing time. So we've got a number of guests that are going to be joining us. First to the mix is a long-time friend of the show, seasoned veteran, Tim Ferguson. How are you, Tim?
Hey, I'm good, Brenton. Yeah, thanks for having me back, mate. And thankfully this time we're no longer in the midst of winter. We're in spring and the season's about to kick off, so it's exciting.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, are we fizzing or are we fizzing? I mean, I've been looking at the race calendar, I've plugged it all in my diary, and I'm going to struggle to fit in some more episodes over the next few months, to be fair.
Yeah, at least you won't struggle for content. Again, like there's so much happening this season. Again, I'll talk about the Crank It Series a little bit later, but with the World Cup racing, there's a bunch of other bits and pieces. We're going to have internationals in the country this year. Oceanias, World Champs. I know there's a big team heading over to that. So, yes, exciting times ahead.
I know, mate. I'll tell you what, and that's why I've been putting in the hard yards over winter. Don't tell my employer just yet, but I don't plan to be around at all this summer at work. I tend to be running around stalking, chasing those international riders, having a few chats. So listen, mate, appreciate you've been around for a little while in the sport. You probably know a lot more people than I do. So any kind of, hey, quiet words in there, a few DMs sliding in to let people know that I'm not weird, be greatly appreciated.
I'll do my best for you, mate. Honestly, I'll do my best.
Appreciate that. And hey, listen, mate, it's not just you and me having a chat. We're going to bring in, this is the first time, mate. So first time pre-recorded, but also first time we're trying to interview 4 people at the same time. So welcome to the show. Bruno, how are you this evening, mate? Long time no see.
Yeah, and I'm good. I had a whole winter of growing a beard, became a grandfather, and had my 21st anniversary of my shop. So it was a very busy winter.
Wow, mate. Actually, we are just talking off before we went on air. Mate, you are looking really good. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, grandfatherness is good, man. You should try it. Not yet.
And you're really taking to it. We also have on the show this evening Miss Ellie Billick. How are you this evening, Ellie?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking.
Great to have you. Thanks very much for joining. Appreciate that you young kids these days have a real big social life. So hopefully we don't get too many sort of Snapchat pop-ups along the way, and you can stay with us. Mr. Regan Smith, how are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, pretty good.
Awesome, mate. Are you busy watching TikTok? Are you trying to multitask there or what, mate?
Nah, not this time.
Fully focused. Good to have you aboard. And beside Regan, we've got the one, the only, the myth, the legend, Mr. Pete Smith. How are you this evening, Pete?
Good, thank you, sir. It's a privilege to be on your show. It's the highlight of my year so far.
Well, I don't know if that's going to be the highlight, mate. So wait till the end of the show. There's a little something special coming for you, that's for sure. So big thank you for being here and helping us wrangle these two teenagers who probably have far better things to do with their life than chat with a bunch of old guys like us. So yeah, hey, listen, big shout out to all of you. Appreciate your time, effort, and energy to take the time to come out and have a chat. So we've got a few things to cover off tonight, and looking forward to it. So really excited. Tim, we're going to head over to you first. We spoke to you last time briefly, and we mentioned, and we got talking about the Crank It Series. But listen, I saw some great Instagram and Facebook posts. You've got a new sponsor. You've got a sponsor this year. Who's the sponsor, mate?
Yeah, we do. So this year, again, thank you to Bruno last year and Maybo for jumping in last moment. Much appreciated, Bruno. Very, very much appreciated, mate. and supporting the Crank It Series. Without Bruno and Mabo last season, honestly, it wouldn't have happened. So thanks for your support. But this year, we're proud to say we've got Streetworkx that have come on board, which is the Richardson company. Grant has been kind enough to step up and back the series for the season. We've got some extra money this year. We're actually going to do some extra little bits and pieces as well with that. We're just discussing a few little options today. But yeah, Streetworkx come on board and couldn't be happier.
Fantastic. So I guess these sort of things, I guess, don't happen for free, right? So there's a lot of cost and a lot of planning and organising that goes involved. So no doubt this sort of sponsorship is valid. So is this the first time that we've had Streetworkx on board?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. So to have an outside industry sponsor like Streetworkx come in, and again, the Richardsons, they're part of the series, they're part of the sport. They really give back. And to again support the series like this is fantastic, and a big positive being an outside industry sponsor. The bike industry at the moment's struggling a little bit. It's not super strong, so there's not a lot of money going around. So again, it's appreciated that they've come on board.
No, fantastic. And again, it's great to get, obviously there's a lot of, I guess, in-house sponsorship going around, a lot of support for the Crank It Series internally. But like you said, I think to have that draw card of those external sponsors coming on board is fantastic. Now, probably most of us on this call at the moment probably appreciate what the Crank It Series is, but I know this is hard to believe, Tim. There may be a few first-time kind of viewers. Do you just kind of want to talk us through a little bit about what the Crank It Series is?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So the whole idea of the series is to communicate with riders, get everyone together, and produce the absolute best racing we can here in New Zealand. So 15 years plus, and when I say plus, I mean Bruno, you can compete. And
Pete, let's not forget Pete.
And Pete. Hey, you too, Brendan.
Mate, I've only ridden a bike once around a track, mate. I don't know if I'd be bringing the best of the best to the game. That's for sure.
It's a start, mate. It's a start. Anyhow, basically, it's the whole idea is to get everyone together for the greater good of the sport. It allows the younger riders to cut their teeth up against riders like Bennett Greenoff and Rico D'Ambers and Behrman and Michael Bias. And also the older guys like myself and Adam Coker and Dion Youth and Richie Stratford to still be in there and give it our all and see where we stack up. So within that too, it also motivates the next generation and gives them a reason to hang around and something to race for rather than just racing age class for say. Not there's anything wrong with it, but it gives you another stepping stone, and it's definitely a benefit if you're planning on doing world champs or any international racing. So that was the idea of the series, and I think it's worked pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if we think about it, one of the exciting things, I know some of the people on the call, unfortunately, were just swanning around in Taihiti. The rest of us locals were hanging out at Waitakere. So I guess when you're new to the sport and you're young in the sport, there's the mighty 11s to strive for, right? And what a privilege and what a thing to strive for. And then you hit that, right? And you hit the pinnacle of what you think is your sporting, and then to have something like this to line up as your next goal or your next challenge is pretty exciting, really, isn't it?
Oh, it is indeed. Honestly, I still get excited about it. When you know you're going to have good racing, it's not just one or two riders to go up against, but even the motos are going to be super tough to get out of. You have to step up and you have to improve, and it motivates you whether you're in the gym or at the track to be a better rider. So we need that here in New Zealand. We don't have the numbers that Australia have or the Europe have or America. So the more we can work together and push each other, the better. And I think this achieves that. So but again, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that helps with the series. BMX NZ have been a massive help. I know it's kind of like they're a bit low key with everything, but BMX NZ put money towards the series. Help us out with organising and everything else. It is a rider-driven series, but they have a lot to do with it. Again, along with Bruno supporting the series. Bike Lab's been in there as well, and a number of others that have said they'll step up this year to make it bigger and better again. So if anyone's out there and anyone else wants to help this year, definitely won't say no. I've got a bunch of jobs, and we try and make it as easy as possible. But yeah, any help is well, yeah, appreciated.
And I guess that's the thing, though, right? It's not like you're a one-time in the pan, in and out kind of event. You've been going for a number of years now. How long has the Crank It Series been going for?
So this will be year number 4 for the
Wow.
Crank It, which is pretty cool, pretty special. And we had big plans over COVID. Some of them were stunted with obviously COVID and then the bad weather last year. So hopefully this year there's no global dramas or anything else, and we can get a good season in, and we've got a good season planned.
Quite exciting. And I mean, you must be super excited. You've touched on it briefly, but with the UCI World Cup coming to New Zealand in February, no doubt you're going to be hitting and targeting a lot of international riders as well, hopefully, right, as they join us for our summer in preparation for that event in February.
Yeah, this season was a little bit of a challenge as far as like planning out for the Crank It races. The calendar is, I get a draft version of the calendar, and we have to sit down and plan the races and where we want to have them. We obviously have a number of clubs reaching out now as well, wanting a Crank It round because it brings extra riders in, offering extra money too, which again is much appreciated. But with that, yeah, so this year we'll kick the series off in Cambridge at the Cambridge Twilight. That'll be followed up 2 weeks later by the New Plymouth meet, which was really well supported last year. We had a lot of guys come in that were basically the top cruiser riders down there, top young guys. And I think a few of them surprised themselves with how well they done. So hopefully we get that again this year and we get really well supported down there. But the season ramps up come year right before the World Cup races. We've got a double header. So we've got North Harbour and East City in the same week. It's the first time we've run two Crank It rounds in the one weekend. So being 2 weeks out from the World Cup rounds and summer in New Zealand, winter in Europe, hopefully we'll have a bunch of internationals here. We've got some extra money up for those meetings as well. So fingers crossed we can get not only our top New Zealand riders, but we'll get some of the top international guys turn up as well and want to throw down on both North Harbour and East City. Following that, we've got another bit of a gap in the season this time around, and a bit of a surprise for everybody. I've been asked a few questions. We've got a Pyro round this year, which again I spoke to Rico, Bennett, and all the guys, and they were all for it. So kind of a club that I don't think expected to get a series, and when we offered it to them, I don't think they really knew what we were offering them. So they do now, and they promised us the track will be in first class condition, and everything will be good for the series. So we'll have a Pyro round, and again, I'm sure that's going to be fireworks. Series points are on the line, and then we'll wrap the season up again at Mountain Raiders with what is always a fantastic meeting there to wrap the season up. Not only us, but for the sport. And then we're leading into World Champs as well. So the way we plan the season and to try and make it work for everybody, make it the best for the riders and get the most riders involved, I think we've done a pretty good job.
No, it sounds exciting, mate. Listen, hey, you, me, Paradora, the big LMP bottle, selfie, you in?
Of course.
Nice. Look forward to it.
Only if Bruno's with us.
Oh, listen, Bruno and Pete, mate, you boys can come on down. We'll get a big cuddle in front of the big Parador bottle.
We know all of our cuddles.
We'll keep that one for another show, though, right? Hey, listen, Regan, mate, I think you, if it calls me correctly, you might have jumped in a couple of the Crank It series last year. Are you planning to do that this year?
Yep, I think I'll do it again. It was pretty good racing faster people.
Yep. Cool. And Ellie, what about you? Are you you must be cranking onto that sort of age group now and looking to kind of push your riding a little bit further. You going to look to try and jump on a couple of the Crank It series this year coming through?
Yeah, I think I will try some of the ones in Auckland, as I know the track's a lot better than the other ones. So maybe this year I can do it.
Nice. And listen, if you two end up in Parador, feel free to join us for the selfie around the big Parador, the LMP bottle. Bruno, mate, are you going to be looking to kind of throw down and maybe a guest appearance at one of the Crank It series?
Oh, maybe I could do that if we have the finish line in the first corner.
I'll pay for your entry if you come do Cambridge with us, Bruno.
I'm a one straight wonder, man.
Pete, any ambition for you, mate, to hit the Crank It Series?
None at all. Big goal.
No doubt you'll be sponsoring Regan though, right? And getting around the place. Hey, listen, on that note, I mentioned it briefly. Super excited. I've been involved with the sport now through my son for a number of years. I think we're coming up to 6 or 7, I think it is. Finally, this winter, I actually made it around a BMX track on a 20-inch BMX bike. I was pretty stoked.
Well done, mate.
No intention of racing though.
What track was it though?
It was East City. It was the East City track.
Oh, from the ramp. I'm proud of you.
Well, listen, let's not get too excited. There was a lot of breaks going on. But I had to test the transponders. So, somebody has to do it, and I chose to. But yeah, super excited. And I now have a whole newfound respect for what you guys do on the track. It's pretty intense. Hey, Tim, listen, super excited. Can't wait to see it. And no doubt some of those events will be live streamed. And I guess one of the great things that BMX New Zealand is doing is trying to live stream some of those events and get it out to the world. So it'd be really great to showcase that on the old interweb. Get it out there.
Absolutely. The more people we get in front of, the better. Obviously, more value for the sponsors as well.
Oh, for sure, mate. And listen, look forward to hopefully calling a few of those races over the upcoming season and maybe doing a couple of trackside interviews and get on that old get that publicity flowing. So no, I appreciate the work you're doing there, mate, and everyone else that's in behind the Crank It Series. So big thank you. Hey, listen, so I've got to be honest, this was a bit, I don't know how long you guys had this in the planning, but I was shocked to one morning wake up and look at my Instagram feed to see 4 people at Auckland International Airport gapping it over to Taihiti. Pete, can I go to you first, mate? What was up with Tahiti? I mean, what was that all about?
It was very short notice. We had a 12 to 10 day warning. Bruno sort of was in contact with some people over there and just sort of asked if we're interested in going over to a bit of coaching and a little bit of racing. And
next minute, you're in Tahiti sipping pina coladas.
Yeah, living the dream.
Nice. So Bruno, mate, let us in a little bit of the secret without giving too much away, obviously. What's the connection with Tahiti and how did this all come about?
So they had in Tahiti was the Tour of Tahiti and the Pan Pacific Games, which is a UCI event and cycling tour around the island. And there was some money around in that association to bring some people over for BMX because they see that BMX is like a feeding sport for all the other cycling sports. And that is the future of cycling. It starts that young with pump track and BMX. And they did ask Megan Williams and Tony James, but they both couldn't go. And then they asked around in the club there if anyone knew anyone that could go. And I knew a family that I met because I fixed their bikes before Oshis.
Yes.
Yeah,
the Tahitians. Cool.
Yeah, Mina and Rocky. And she said, I know Bruno. And we started emailing, and then we put that team together of the 3 down there, and they had their tickets and everything organized. And then on the Monday before we left, I get an email and they say, hey, do you have a valid passport? And I'm like, yeah, I got one. Why? Oh, you're coming as well. So I had 3 days really to prepare, and I learned how I get a lot done in 3 days. Hey,
that's awesome.
Work-wise.
Hey, Bruno, I don't know if you've got my email address because they obviously didn't need any commentary over there, or the email went to the junk folder. Or
Parlez-vous français?
Ik kan een beetje Afrikaans praten.
You need to, yeah. It's a
No?
mix of Tahitian and French and English.
Okay. Fair call. Okay, so what you're saying is I need to start to learn French.
Yeah.
Okay. What about je t'aime?
Yeah, that'll open all the doors. Yeah.
Hey, so Ellie, I mean, wow, what was it like to get the phone call, get the call up, the big hey, how you doing? What are you up to? Do you just want to pop over to Tahiti?
I was actually at school tournament week for football, and I saw that I got a message from Regan saying, "Ellie, we might be going to Tahiti in 2 weeks. I'm not complete sure." I come home and my dad's like, "Pack your bags, you're going to Tahiti."
I mean, listen, if I got a message from Regan saying I was going to Tahiti, I wouldn't believe a thing he said either. So, wow. So, no doubt, I had a good chat with your dad over the weekend. There's a few things that we won't talk about, but that must have been pretty exciting to get that confirmed, right? I mean, you must be. I mean, how does it feel to be an internationally famous BMXer?
It's really cool because you got to meet a whole bunch of new people, a whole new language, and like a different style of riding. So it was pretty cool.
Hey, and listen, just Bruno said that I couldn't come because I couldn't speak French. How's your French at the moment?
My French is no good. I used Google Translate the whole time.
Oh, okay. Just kind of sounding out what's going on here. I'm seeing where this is going. Okay, and Regan, listen, what was the competition like, mate? I know over here in good old Aotearoa, you generally listen. Let's be fair. You hold your own, and you do incredibly well at these big race meets. How was it in Taihiti?
It was interesting. There was one guy in my age group who I raced. He was pretty fast. He was about the same speed as me, and that was it. Who I raced for one of the days. So there's not as much competition.
Yeah, but still, the competition that was there was pretty good, eh?
Yeah, and then the other day I raced a 36-year-old who was really fast.
Wow, how'd you go against the old guy?
Oh, he won the first one, but then I got him on the rest.
And I didn't realize your dad was 36, mate. That's pretty impressive. I mean, he doesn't look it, right? But we'll let him get away with that. And listen, so I guess Tim's mentioned we're going to be hitting Pararoa. That's obviously an incredibly interesting track. I mean, what are the tracks like in Tahiti? Are they very similar to what we get here in New Zealand?
One track.
Oh, okay. How was that one track, Regan?
I quite liked it.
Nice. Big jumps?
It was pretty. Some of the jumps were decently sized.
Cool.
Second straight was pretty big.
How would they compare to any of the tracks we have here in New Zealand?
I'll compare it to like Sunset Coast.
Okay.
The surface of it. There was a few potholes on the track, but it was really fast.
Cool.
And short, so
nice.
That's good.
Now, Pete, I mean, how did you find it, mate? I mean, the myth, the man, the legend. It takes a special occasion for you to pull a bike out, from what I hear. And I mean, mate, it was great to see your bike out. The sun's out, guns out, right?
That's it. Hit the dust off a bike and pump the tyres up and race around with the old guys.
And what was the level of competition like in Tahiti for the young group?
We did 2 race meets. The first race meet, there's just the 3 of us, me, Bruno, and another guy that was looking after us. He was pretty quick. Bruno was pretty quick to the first corner, but then he ran out of legs.
No, that's not true. I had no insurance, so I stopped at the first corner, right?
Was that the 3-day turnaround time? You had to drop the insurance.
Too expensive for an old guy like me.
Oh, fantastic, Pete. And I mean, listen, how did you find it interacting with Tahitians and their love of the sport? I mean, are they as passionate about BMX as I think we are over here in New Zealand?
Hey, look, the kids that turned up, they all turn up with a smile on their face. They're all ready to be there. They turn up and one family will turn up and they'll go and fist bump every single person at the track and say hi. Then the next family will turn up and they'll fist pump every single person at the track and say hi. Just real chilled back and really cool people.
Cool. Yeah, so the moral of the story is don't be the last guy to the track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Hey Bruno, thinking about Tahiti, mate. We often consider ourselves a small island nation. Tahiti, obviously, a little bit smaller. What's the level of the equipment like over there?
So the gate that they had was a Pro Start,
Go.
which was way better than what we have over here. Uh,
We'll have a pro start in Cambridge soon, by the way, Bruno.
yeah. Something just happened to my light here. Yeah, it's gonna be. Look, the track was a bit different because it was tar sealed, and then the grass grows through it. So it was a bit challenging. They fixed the potholes. They have club bikes. A lot of the kids don't have their own bikes, and not because necessarily they can't afford it, but it's just one less obstacle that they have to get over to actually come.
Cool.
And I do find that they're all super happy. You know,
Nice.
they don't train like, we don't have 8-year-olds train like elites like we have here in New Zealand. And you see 12-year-olds that don't smile anymore because they've ridden too much and their dad shouted at them too hard. You don't see that. And the one thing that I really thought was amazing was how all the kids look out for the smaller kids when they crash. In New Zealand, you first laugh at the guy that crashes, while they run there and they help them out and everything. And that, I think that was a big takeaway for me. But I think I got a bit sidetracked there. The equipment. Tahiti is a first world country, right? They have a bit over 300,000 people on 109 islands. And we were on the biggest island, Tahiti Nui and Tahiti Iti. And together they have 120,000 people. As I said, it's a first world country. It's part of the EU. They're all French citizens. So next year, the surfing for the Olympics is actually in Tahiti, 24 hours flight away from France.
That'd be cool.
You hardly see a rusty car like you see here. Things seem to work really well. The hospital looks good. So I think we underestimate Tahiti as a nation. However, when it comes to cycling sport, they're definitely behind the times. And I think that's partially to funding and partially to people that are riding, because traditionally they're probably not a racing nation, you know?
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, Tim, how cool would it be to get a Taihitian on the Crank It Series?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, I'm sure these guys know that fast kid that they were talking about. So, it'd be nice to, obviously do vice versa instead of us going there, get him across here and give him an experience and hopefully take that back home again and help the sport back there.
Yeah, no, cool. Hey, Tim, so bringing it back a bit local, super exciting. I mean, some might consider West Auckland Tahiti. It's obviously very famous for a number of things: surf, sun, and many more. That's where I was on Sunday, and one of the reasons I was there was because that Waitakere BMX Club were hosting the Pre-Norths and the Mighty 11 trials. So some super exciting racing. Unfortunately, it wasn't live streamed, so you probably don't get to see that. But there was definitely a lot of action happening, which is exciting. But more excitingly, coming up, Labour Weekend in Auckland, Aotearoa, Waitakere BMX Track, North Island titles. Pete, how excited are you?
I'm a bit gutted, actually. I missed the cut-off point to get my entry in. Higgins entered, but mine, I was a bit late on my one, so...
Hey, so Pete, just for future reference, you can enter 2 people at the same time.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
We'll run you through that next time, mate.
Next time.
Yeah, I wonder why we didn't see you in Masters there, Pete.
He has to set his license first for that one.
Yeah, Bruno. I mean, what are you looking forward to at North Island? You're going to be there, no doubt?
I paid my money. I'm going to be there. I have lots of new things to show that I haven't had there before, because I think a lot of things will change on BMX bikes in the next 2 years on the technological side. I'm looking forward to dry weather because I heard the field was pretty mounted.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see a lot of guys again that I haven't seen, since last season. Because You know, so the way my daughter hasn't raced now in a while because she just had a baby. So I have been not to that many races, even last season. So I actually miss my family, hey, and my BMX family, that is, and looking forward to get back to it.
We look forward to catching up with you on the side of the track too, Bruno. So can't wait. Ellie, are you coming along to North Island titles this year?
I do not think I am racing, as I have something else on at the same time. But I think I will be coming the second day to come and watch and support the rest of the team.
It must be really difficult, Ellie, being so popular. I mean, like, I've got to be honest, I checked my diary a couple of times. I had nothing else on, so I'll be there. But, to have two things on the same weekend, it must be difficult being you. Would that be a fair call?
Yeah, I was quite upset when Dad told me I wasn't able to do the Norths, as it would be my first time missing it. But
so it's your dad's fault. We'll have to have a word. We'll have to have a quiet little word with your dad, right?
Just tell them what you're doing, Ellie.
I have a football tournament in Napier.
Oh, there we go. Fair enough. Hey, that's pretty exciting though. Multi-talented. That's awesome. Great to see. Good luck with your football tournament in Napier. Beautiful place to be at the time of the year is what I do here. Tim, mate, you coming along? You riding North Island titles, Waitakere?
Yeah, mate, I'll be there. So in Masters class, which unfortunately we didn't get massive numbers to this one. A few people have had babies and a little preoccupied or coming back from injury. So we've only got 6 riders in Masters, but it's a good 6. So we need a few more guys to step up and come race us in that class. But I'll be there, looking forward to it. Waitakere track is looking really good. I was there, I think, last Wednesday, the Wednesday before, riding with Tony James, and I hadn't been there or hadn't ridden there in probably 16 years, to be honest. We used to race there a lot back in the day, and well, that place has changed so much from back in the day. Honestly, it's beautiful now, and the club's done a fantastic job.
Mate, the track is looking mint. Yeah. I know Bruno mentioned the track, the field where we do a lot of the parking was obviously pretty worked up, but the track itself really held its own. The club there at Waitakere has done an amazing job. Super stoked. And mate, listen, they built a whole new commentary hut just for the event. I am so excited. We got to Greg Buckley and myself got to test it out on the weekend, and we're giving it the okay. So
I'll come join you between motos.
Yeah,
Coffee
mate.
machine in it?
No, Bruno. So I'm expecting you to make some deliveries over the weekend. That'd be appreciated.
No worries. I got you.
Yeah, Tim, and listen, I've heard there's some exciting stuff coming up for you this summer potentially. So I'm looking forward to popping down to Tauranga. I've been offered the box seat to come up and watch you do your thing. So looking forward to joining you in your home space.
You're welcome to Speedway anytime, and absolutely we'll chuck you on the mic, or if you put the headset on, that's how it happened to me. And next thing you know, you're commentating at Bay Park Speedway, which is exciting. So I'd love to do a few more BMX events. Just done Ames Games recently, but
cool.
There's a big one coming up, the World Cup race. I'd really love to do.
Yeah, mate. No, listen, great to have you up there at Norths and have you part of the commentary team at some point. So please do jump up there. Regan, mate, it sounds like you've been entered because it's all your dad's fault. You excited about North Island titles?
Yeah, it should be good. It's nice and close this year as well. So
yes,
did some time down there, so be good.
For some of us old fellas, that means no pass card. It means turn up to the track, go home, be home. And I have noticed some Instagram posts sporting a sexy new bike there, so no doubt you'll be keen to throw that down and make that work for its money, right?
Yep, it feels quite nice.
Cool. Hey, listen, we're very rapidly running out of time here. It's been fantastic to have you. I've got one more thing I'd like to do. So this show, there's been so many firsts. So we're not live, we're pre-recorded. So that's the first. Interviewing 4 people at the same time, that's a first. I've got a couple
Isn't
more
it
things
5 people?
Oh, true. Sorry. Well, no. There's 4 of you at the 4 of you at the same time. Tim's a guest on his own right. You 4 I've tried to kind of I've tried to merge you all. Hey, listen, UCI BMX World Champs Rotorua February 2024. What I want you to do is on the count, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. On go, I want you to give me a 10 out of 10 if you're super excited, or a 1 out of 10 if you're not. Okay, so here we go. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. Way, how cool is that? So just a big reminder, our next show is going to probably be entirely dedicated to that and having a chat about that. So please tune in for that. Really excited to host the crew from down in Rotorua to talk all about it. And the last thing we've just got to cover off on the show, I believe there's a special man today. And I believe that special man is none other than Pete Smith. And the reason why it's a special day for Pete Smith is because Pete has given up his birthday to be with us. So, team, I'd really appreciate it if you join me on the count of 3 to sing Pete a happy birthday.
Whoa!
Are we all in?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to Pete. Happy birthday to Pete. Oh, happy birthday, dear. Oh, my giddy aunt. Okay, let's kill it.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, Pete. Hey, thanks for joining us, team. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you all here. Absolutely stoked. Thank you very much for coming. And we'll see you all trackside soon.
Thanks again, Brenton, for everything you do in Elbow to Elbow TV. It's great.